Running wiring on the exterior of a structure and conduit is often restricted, so always verify with your local building and electrical codes before considering this method. In many areas, it simply isn't permitted. If exterior routing is not an option, consider alternative strategies for getting the new wiring from the basement to the attic without extensive demolition. One approach involves drilling a hole in the subfloor at a convenient, accessible location. From there, you can fish the wire up through the stud bay and into the attic space. This can be a more direct and less disruptive method compared to exterior conduit runs. Another technique involves a more targeted approach within the building structure. Firstly, determine the location in the attic where the new wiring needs to terminate. Secondly, identify the room directly below that attic location. Thirdly, drill a hole in the ceiling of the room, positioning it carefully to allow access to the stud bay that runs vertically to the desired attic location. Fourthly, go to the attic and precisely determine which stud bay is parallel to the one containing the hole you drilled in the ceiling below. This parallel bay will be the one you'll need to access from the wall in the room below. Fifthly, return to the room below and use a small hole saw to carefully cut a hole in the lath and plaster wall. The hole should be positioned directly opposite the stud bay you identified in the attic, ensuring that it provides a direct path into the stud bay. Sixthly, once you have access to the stud bay, you can fish the wire up through it, guiding it through the hole you created in the attic and into the desired location. Finally, after the wiring is complete, patch the holes you created in the ceiling and wall. This method minimizes the amount of plaster removal required and provides a relatively clean and efficient way to run the new wiring. When working with existing knob and tube wiring, exercise extreme caution. Knob and tube systems often have deteriorated insulation and can pose a significant shock hazard. To energize the circuits completely before working on or near them, consider having a qualified electrician inspect the existing wiring to assess its condition and determine the best course of action. When running new wiring, always adhere to the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and local electrical codes. Ensure that the wire size, insulation type, and installation methods are appropriate for the application. Use properly sized circuit breakers or fuses to protect the new circuits. Ground all electrical boxes and equipment according to code requirements. When fishing wires through walls and ceilings, use appropriate tools and techniques to avoid damaging existing wiring or structural elements. Fish tape, flexible drill bits, and wire pulling lubricant can be helpful in navigating tight spaces and avoiding obstructions. When patching holes in lath and plaster walls, use appropriate materials and techniques to ensure a smooth and durable finish. Apply a bonding agent to the edges of the existing plaster before applying new patching compound. Use multiple thin layers of patching compound rather than one thick layer to minimize shrinkage and cracking. Allow each layer to dry completely before applying the next. Sand the patched areas smooth and prime before painting. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician if you are not comfortable performing the work yourself.